All right, looks like we are live. The triple option tonight. You've got us on Facebook Live, you've got us on Twitter Live or X Live, and you've got us on the YouTube channel live, hanging out here in the Arctic Air Studios tonight. Hopefully, your air is Arctic. And of course, brought to you by the good people at Domino's Pizza, Domino's.com, and Peach Tire Service over in Ropesville, man. If you ever need them, they're going to be there for you. Well, let some folks get in. You guys know what to do. The early arrivals, it's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. You let us know that the audio is good. You let us know that the video is good. You give us thumbs up. You give us hearts. You tell us the talkie box is on, just like Craig does, like right there. And then the early arrivals, you can also share this. You can put this on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you may be, however you choose to share it. We just appreciate you doing it. And then we want you to be a part of the proceedings. If you're on Twitter or YouTube, use the text line 806 772 0197. If you are on Facebook, just do what they're doing right now and hit us in the say something box there, the talking box, the typing box. Damon, Craig, John is there. Celia is there. Populating up on Twitter, I see. I can't call it X yet. Apologize. I just can't get to X. Maybe I'll get to X eventually. All right. It is Two Word Tuesday. The topic is the future of college football. You guys already know that. You went to the website, theraiderland.com. Also, Tuesday, we found out yesterday, one of the most underrated days of the week. So it will be the day we talk about what's underrated. So we'll ask you that today, too. Let's get it going in 3, 2. Good evening, West Texans, and all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com, the website where you start your day. Sitting here in the Arctic Air Studios. Our air is Arctic. If yours is not, you need to call the Bear, locally owned and operated, veteran owned, with my man Shane. Put that on your phone, too, in case you need it. Sometimes you panic, you can't think. Hey, have it right there in your contacts. Call the Bear. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza, Domino's.com. Right now, $8.99. One oven baked sandwich. One single topping, 10-inch pizza. Boom, right there, $8.99. You don't have the app? Get it, Domino's.com. That could be supper tonight. And we are brought to you by Peach Tire Service in Ropesville, Texas, sprawling metropolis of Ropesville. All up and down, not just the Brownfield Highway, but wherever you may roam in the South Plains. Roadside service. Again, a number you need, a link you need. Peach Tire Service in Ropes. I hope you don't need them. They have helped my family out numerous times over the years since we've been out here in the country, and they can handle anything. Big trucks, farm trucks, tractors, your little bitty hybrid car, whatever. They might chuckle a little when they work on your little bitty car, but they will take care of you, no problem. Thank you, Pete's Tire. All right, let's make it happen today. Get your comments, questions in. The speaking cube is operational, says Damon. The beverage crisp. It is cold. It is functional tonight. Two Word Tuesday. We'll give you a topic. You give us 2 words. The future of college football. How would you describe the future of college football? Also, we're asking today, what's underrated? That we got right down to it yesterday. Tuesdays may be underrated. Think of all the great things that happen on Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. You could have Taco Tuesday with our friends at Abuelos. Your favorite stations play 2 of your favorite artists back to back. You make 2 sandwiches. Remember the place that used to do that? They're not very good anymore. I mean, Tuesday, for the longest time, Tuesday's claim to fame was pretty much high. We're not Monday. We're Tuesday. Tuesday Weld. There was no Monday Weld. There was Tuesday Weld. So it will be from henceforth underrated Tuesday as well. You can tell things in the world that you think are underrated right now. Chalupa Tuesday for Lynn. Hey, whatever gets you there, man. That's 2 chalupas. Put 2 chalupas together. Now we got something going on. James says on 2 words, the NCAA panicking. Yeah, they've got to figure out, and it was really 10 years ago, 20 years ago that they needed to be figuring out, hey, when this gets it to its natural logical conclusion and football does break away at the highest level, what exactly are we going to be? How are we going to operate? Was it Woken or Wetzel today? Somebody on one of the, maybe Yahoo, had a stop. Hey, maybe the top college football programs need to break away at the college football level and do their own thing. Gosh, somebody had been saying that for over 20 years. I wonder who that could be that would have been saying that for a long time. John, the future of college football is 4 divisions and the rest of what is left. Yep. And it has been for a long time, more or less. It's just now everybody's being kind of honest about it, right? We talk about the haves and the have-nots. There have been haves and have-nots for a long time. Now we're just being more honest about it. Not every school needs to be playing at the highest level. Not every school can. Not every school wants to. We'll get to the ACC expansion story here in a little bit. Randy's in. Peyton, you guys checking in as well. Get on the text line, 806-772-0197 if you're on Twitter X, and if you are on, or is it X Twitter? And if you're on YouTube, that's the easiest way to do it. Local radio is best. Yeah, ask the old Williams Night Show followers. Please do ask them. Two-word Tuesday, things that are underrated. By the way, he's not on. Sometimes he jumps in. If he does, congratulations to Texas Tech track and field coach Wes Kittley, U.S. Track and Field Coaches Hall of Fame. The announcement today, just one more honor for Wes Kittley. Maybe underrated, if that's possible, as potentially the greatest coach Texas Tech sports history. Is the Big 12 finished expanding? For now, they are. If the ACC falls apart, you might pick up a few, but for now, there's nobody else you want. You don't want Cal, you don't want Stanford, you don't want Oregon State, Washington State, you don't want SMU. I can't believe he wasn't already in. I don't know what that association's Hall of Fame criteria are, so I can't speak to it, but yeah, he's in now. Why would SMU pay more in exit fees than they make in revenue to join a conference in despair? Hey, bingo. If the answer to the question is SMU, you're asking the wrong question. I'm not sure who and how and why they are floating SMU ACC rumors, but it's just silly. Now, I know the ACC already pays out less than the Big 12 right now. But if SMU brought anything to a media rights deal, they would already be in, A, the Big 12, B, they'd be talking about backfilling in the Pac-12 with, even though we all know there's no more Pac-12. SMU doesn't bring you anything. They're not, the ACC's not taking SMU. Unless, again, in my crazy, hey, conspiracy-minded world, that maybe there are a few teams in the ACC that want to open up the broadcast rights as a poison pill to destroy the league and somehow break the contract, break the TV contracts. And I don't think they will. I don't think they can. TV's pretty smart. So, yeah, SMU, no. SMU doesn't give you Dallas. SMU barely gives you Highland Park. They'd already be in. The same thing goes for any of these stories about Stanford and Cal. They don't bring anything into the ACC. If the ACC is not trying to expand right now, the ACC is trying to hold on to members. Why would the ACC expand? Why didn't Jim Phillips and his predecessor expand the ACC in the form of an alliance with the Pac-12? Why didn't they do that at the time? Because there wasn't any value in it to them, for the most part, for the teams that they would be getting if they did anything. SMU left relevant behind when Dickerson left. Oh, come on, man. You're discounting, what was his name? Mike Romo, the quarterback who brought them back from the dead. They're in 1989. Is that their first year back? Yeah, it was 89, I think. It was 89. Because my freshman year at Tech, they weren't playing ball yet. I think it was Mike Romo, author of the Miracle on Mockingbird, when they came back from dead that first year or whatever and beat, was it UConn? Man, it's been a while. Been a hot minute since that happened. John, Stanford brings Olympic sports and college that equals to no money. It equals a money suck. The alliance equals the League of Nations. Somebody knows their history. Not even as effective as the League of Nations. Don't forget to tell us what's underrated today. Don't forget to use the text line, 806-772-0197 for you to text in if you're on Twitter Live, if you're on the YouTube channel. We get scads of replays. Best I can do for you on the replay, hit me on Twitter at Riot Media, or comment and we'll respond to your comments after we post this at the Raiderland.com. You want to know who's going to, by the way, make sure SMU doesn't end up in the ACC or something like that? The United Take and Bake meals are underrated. Damn right they are. Those are really good. Really good take and bake meals. And if you go to the one on 114th Street in Slide, they've got Evie Mae's Barbecue there. Yeah, they hung 95 or something on them that year. What was that? John Jenkins against Forrest Gregg doing that. It was not a lot of people liked it. SMU Regent Governor Bill Clements would get it. He'd get it done. The people that'll sabotage it usually at SMU the last 40 years, the last 30 years, are internally at SMU. They don't want to be big-time football. They have held themselves back. They have fought it. I know multiple individuals who have been around that university since they came back from the death penalty, and the battle, the internal battle that they have to fight for SMU to even be at this level is amazing. They're still scarred by it. Now, those people are, some of them are leaving. Some of that attitude is changing. But there's still a big internal, we don't want to be a part of it attitude. And again, they don't bring anything to the table. So if the ACC really is looking at taking SMU, why? Why would they take Stanford and Cal? They don't need anybody. Those three teams would not pay any revenue. Why? I don't think they're looking at it seriously. I really don't think they're looking at it. That maybe they're doing Stanford and Cal a favor on the valuation. Maybe, I don't know what that would be, part of the alliance agreement. But it makes no sense. And it makes no sense for TV to say, we want to pay for that. They don't need a West Coast window for the ACC. Makes no sense. Logic. Follow the logic. Raise the conference GPA. Probably not, knowing what I know about SMU. They like to act like they're Stanford, and they like to act, Stanford actually is like that. Duke is another poser when it comes to academic GPA. They're another poser on that front. Now, Rice, Stanford, they're legit. SMU is a Dallas team. Highland Park, Lake Highlands, or Woodrow Wilson can give them a run for their money. Yeah, I'd take the Scotties. SMU could bring the alcohol to the party. SEC would love to have Florida State and Clemson. Yes, they would. Would their TV partners like to have Florida State and Clemson? Yeah. I mean, if the SEC is looking at bringing in Stanford, Cal, and SMU, it's because they think they're about to lose Clemson, Florida State, and North Carolina. Text line 806-772-0197. SMU does have a better tailgate scene on the boulevard than any other Pac-12 school, current or de facto. It's pretty salty. It's not that big, but it's a good, hearty tailgate scene. One might say underrated. Here on an Underrated Tuesday, where you tell us things that are underrated. Life in general. I can't speak to any of the tailgating at any of the venues in the Pac-12 because I was only there for basketball. But I've never heard anybody say, yeah, you've got to go to Corvallis. The tailgating is spectacular. 806-772-0197. If you want to check in on the text line, just like the old radio show, you can do that. 806-772-0197. On Facebook, you can get in on the regular comments. We're finding out what's underrated today. Two-word Tuesday, we give you the topic. The topic is the future of college football. And we've already congratulated Wes Kitley. So if he does pop on the broadcast later on, in the time we have tonight, however long that may be, we'll make sure everybody congratulates him. Chip is in. Hey, Chuck is in. What's up, Law Dog? There's a tractor outside my house right now, apparently. I can't see it. I'm going to assume that that's a tractor. Otherwise, the timing belt on one of the trucks has really gone to hell. The beef and cheddar sandwich, underrated in a class of its own. Are we talking the Arby's beef and cheddar? Hi there, Andrea. Husky Stadium in Seattle on the lake is worth visiting. They've got some nice views. I went to a luncheon one time there at Husky Stadium. You're overlooking, what is that, Puget Sound? It was pretty cool looking. Yeah, beef and cheddar sandwich could very well be underrated. Why do they have anything else on the menu? I guess you could get without the cheddar. Arby's trying to do too much, in my opinion. Don't want burgers. Don't really want the healthy stuff. Although I did go one time and get their, for whatever reason, their fish sandwich. I don't know why. Wasn't bad. Randy, I've tailgated at Arizona State for the Arizona game in Tempe. Tailgating was meh. Same for Colorado. You'd think Colorado would have a good tailgate scene. You really would. 806-772-0197. Right there on the text line. Aloha to you as well, Chuck. Would Yormark take Cal and Stanford to stop another conference? Answer your own question, then I'll answer it for you, James. And then we'll explain why. Albert's watching. 2 words. Mo money. Like that money. Show me the money. Show me the quan. Bring it to me. It's like Wiener Schnitzel trying to do burger. Yeah, I don't want a burger Wiener Schnitzel. Been nothing but the beef and cheddar at Arby's since '84. Rock on. That and the Arby's sauce. Do we still have some? I thought I saw my wife pop on. Did we have some Arby's sauce in the kitchen the other day? Is that already gone? Can't remember. I put it on something that it probably doesn't normally go on, but it was good because it was Arby's sauce. Yeah, the money will only grow for those who are getting the money. Those who aren't getting the money, there you go. Good brownies at Colorado tailgates. Hey, it's the Gummy Tailgate. Welcome on out. You won't remember the game, but the way Colorado's played lately, that's probably a good thing. So, yeah, if you're just getting in, yesterday we determined that Tuesday is maybe the most underrated day of the week. So from henceforth on, underrated Tuesday. You tell us what's underrated each week. Two-Word Tuesday still remains. Give us 2 words on a topic. The topic is the future of college football. And then we're talking about the SEC. All the stories today started this morning. By the way, the Big 12 is not looking at anybody. And the Big 12 would not take Stanford and Cal to keep somebody from getting them. If you're the Big 12, you want somebody to get them because it's going to hurt their TV contract. It'll give you more money. Yeah. They bring nothing to the table that matters in conference expansion. So use it on the breakfast sandwich? Cool. Watch the Manziel documentary on Netflix. Cliff's a lot of appearances. Well, yeah, he was there. Is it like, did they interview Cliff today talking about him, or was it like stuff that was going on in real time there where Cliff was getting his first real taste of college football coaching and Tech became the only school in America that would have handed him the keys to a major program at that time? Manziel's an interesting cat. He is what he is. He deserves to be in the Sports Business Hall of Fame. Andrew Brandt, former Packers general manager, Andrew Brandt, does sports business. Follow him on Twitter. He's a great follow. By the way, are you guys enjoying what we're doing on the website with the question of the day post in the morning, the hot links section? We're trying to give you about 10, 15, 20 different links, interesting stuff. You guys digging that? Because we'll probably be featuring quite a few from Brandt. Anyways, he does a deal called the Sports Business Hall of Fame, and it's guys who weren't very good but made a whole lot of money. You know, Blaine Gabbert doing stuff like that. Manziel would be killing it with NIL. Oh, unbelievable. Underrated. West Texas Sunsets. I don't know that they could be underrated. They're rated. Yeah, he was NIL before there was NIL. Always said A&M wins 2012 Natty if they're in the Big 12 instead of the SEC. Trying to think in 12 who they would have had to go through that would have been exceedingly problematic, and nobody, Oklahoma, Texas, nobody jumping out that year. Baylor, yeah, it would have been interesting. Never know, but still, they'll always have 1939. We'll always have 1939. Craig says, love Cliff, but nobody should hand the keys to any level program higher than middle school. Now, he's not a college coach, and 2, I don't think he's a head coach. I think he is a great policy wonk coordinator who will probably go down as one of the great coordinators in football history. You know? had the Kingsbury footage coaching then and present day Cliff, who won't freaking age. Underrated. Cliff Kingsbury's skincare program. What are you doing? You got a loofah? What are you doing? Got better after losses to Florida and LSU. Hard for me to admit that. You know, A&M can always go back and claim national championship years. Now, yeah, they probably will. Just one day you'll show up there, Kyle Field, and there'll be a 2012 national championship better. What is it, 2011, 2012, whatever the year was. Yeah, that was 11, maybe. Was it 11, 12? I can't remember. They're good at that. You text in on the text line if you're live with us on Twitter X and on YouTube, 806-772-0197. It's right there on your screen. You can see it, just like the old radio show. Best way for you to get in touch. When you're on multiple platforms, there's only so many ways you can see comments funneled into one area, and eventually maybe the text line will even have more stuff on it. Working on some things. Looking at top people. Top people are working on some things. But you tell us things that are underrated today. We got a few more minutes left. ACC expansion. Who wants it? Why would you do it? Does it make sense? The dollars don't make sense for Cal and Stanford, let alone SMU. Why would you want to expand? You're already behind the Big 12. The ACC is trying to expand. They're trying to survive. What do we mean by trying to survive? They're desperately afraid. Clemson, Florida State first, Clemson after that. They're desperately afraid they're going to figure out a way to break that grant of rights. You break the grant of rights by breaking off the TV contract, opening it up, and then presto, boom, anything can happen. That's why I keep thinking it's like a conspiracy deal. You got like 3 or 4 schools that are going to egg the others into, yeah, we're going to expand. Yeah, we're out of here. What's that? Somebody signed something and said we can go. We're gone. Now, again, this only works if TV wants it to work. Big 12 has 4 new teams because TV wanted 4 new teams. And those are the teams they paid for. The Big 10 has 2 and now 4 new teams. Why? Because TV wanted to pay for it. Why would TV want to pay for Stanford and Cal and SMU to be in the ACC? Why would they want to do that? They wouldn't. James says Bruce Bochy turnaround the Rangers is underrated. He doesn't get enough credit. He's a really solid manager. Solid. That I don't just sit there when I start ticking off managers and going, this guy is one of the greats all time. But this is also a guy who's not going to get you beat. He is a steady hand for a growing team. He is the right type of guy all the way around that you want if you're an organization like the Rangers are right now. Am I saying that in 2 years you get rid of him? No, that's not what I'm saying. But he was the guy they needed right now. Surgery for Josh Young, 6 to 8 weeks. So basically postseason. If Rangers are still there, I won't be surprised if the Astros don't run down the Rangers. We'll see. The Rangers just kind of keep on doing stuff. Very underrated season. And they look, every all-star that they have had has missed time this year. Every one of the 5 Rangers who were at the all-star game has missed time. Is he out of the Rookie of the Year running? Yeah, it'll be closer now. Kind of depends. Did Young get enough? I don't know. We'll see. I haven't looked. The book Sunday pulled that down. I've not looked to see if anybody has access to it real quick to see, maybe in faraway places or otherwise, what Yale Rookie of the Year odds are. I can tell you what his chances are by looking at the odds now. We've had 48 hours to repopulate that. So I just hadn't looked. I apologize for that. That was on my radar, and then I got away from it. But if somebody can pull that up before we get out here in a few minutes, that's cool. Randy, and I have to hit the see more part. Not Seymour, but see more. They don't want to pay for Cal when you can buy tickets for $6 at a road game. Tell me they probably don't have eyeballs watching the game. Nobody pays attention to Cal. Nobody pays attention to Stanford football. Not even there. They're just not valuable properties that way. And certainly they're not going to drive value. They drive value down in the current ACC. The ACC is below the Big 12 in conference payout right now. And the Big 12 didn't want to have anything to do with them. All right? Now, would they come in at pro rata? Pro rata? Is it pro rata or pro rata? I hear it both ways. Pro rata sounds better. So pro rata. Would they come in at a decreased pro rata? By that I mean, would you come in for, instead of 31.7, would you come in at, I don't know, 20? Now, you were going to take 21 a week ago. If you're I'm talking Stanford and Cal. If somebody told you that you can have 15 or 18 or nothing, what do you do? Now, maybe that is the only way you could do that. But again, they've got to open up the TV contracts, and I don't think they want to play with that fire right now. A couple of more minutes for you guys to jump on the text line, 806-720-197. For those on Twitter X, or X Twitter, or X Twitter, or Twitter X, on YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, you should be. You can get in on the text line, 806-720-197. We'll have this posted on the website, theraiderland.com. You can share it with your friends that way. For everybody watching the replay, we do appreciate you so much for being out there. Appreciate you guys sharing this and growing Raiderland. We're growing all the time, every day, getting a little bit better. You know, it's like a story about the kid. They have a new calf born. The old man says, son, if you lift a calf starting today, every day, you'll be able to lift it when it weighs 1,700 pounds. I never heard how the story turned out. But anyhow, just doing a little bit every day, right? Is the U and NC State good options for the Big 12 if everything goes south in the ACC? Miami, NC State. Miami, yeah. If Florida State was all the SEC wanted, if Clemson was all the SEC wanted, then you want your Florida footprint. So, yeah, absolutely Miami would be in play for Brett Yormark. And then you would start looking at North Carolina. You know, would North Carolina be making a move? Is the ACC, is the Big Ten done? Are we done talking about, you know, North Carolina and that? I think everything would be on the table at that point. Yeah, SEC then would get first dibs. It'll be like that Mutual of Omaha deal where they're showing the gazelle that gets taken down by the cheetahs. The biggest, baddest cheetah would be the SEC at that point, and then the Big Ten, and then the Big 12 would be kind of like, what we got left here? Well, yeah, we'll eat that. Okay, yeah, what? No, can't have that. Okay, we'll eat that then. All right, we're taking a leg. Taking a leg over here. So yeah, you would take you would take whatever you could get. NC State, yeah. You know, if we got to get to 20, and that's what it takes to get there, okay. Not opposed to it. There are worse things. Michael jumps in here late at the end. Get notes from somebody else who's been on time in class today. James says he'd take Virginia Tech, Virginia, or Syracuse before the U. Coming from a U fan, I think the U would be at the top of the list personally because of the Florida markets. And not only the Florida markets, but the U is as close to a national brand as you're going to get if you're not getting a Clemson. I think the U is a bigger national brand than Florida State. North Carolina, because of their overall football basketball imprint, is right there. Syracuse doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, the U's still a big brand. I think if you could get them, they'd be at the top of my list of that. Who was the voice that said sponsored by Mutual of Omaha at the end of the show? Good question. Don't know. Wasn't Marlon Perkins, I don't think. It was different voice from Marlon. Mark, yes, quality football at the moment, not so much. Doesn't matter how good you are. Seriously, how good you are right now really doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to the discussion how good you are on the field right now, good, bad, or otherwise. It doesn't really matter that much. All right, I want to thank Arctic Air for cooling the air down here in the studios. Domino's Pizza, that $8.99 deal oven baked sandwich, 10-inch, one topping, $8.99. You can't beat that. Get the app. And our good friends at Pete's Tire Service in Roseville, Texas, taking care of you all around the South Plains. Get that number laid in, roadside service. Our man Pete, he's good people. Pride of Ropesville. There's only one school that was the subject of two 30 for 30s. There you go. All right, you guys are tonight. We'll say goodbye to the Twitter and the YouTube folks first. Hate to do that to them, but that's just the way it goes. Do we end the broadcast? Yes. It asks me questions when I start hitting stuff in there. Not yet or in broadcast.